And we are live. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Today is Saturday. We skipped last week, and first time ever. It was not because of me. so, Rajiv's back was not well. He was lifting weights. I was not lifting weights. He was lifting weights.
Actually,
Raj,
kettlebell. Not
yeah, cat.
the weights I'm okay with, but kettlebell is still defeating me. I've done this 3 times.
I'm
I
still
never learned.
impressed that you do kettlebells at this age. So but Rajiv is our immigration lawyer. We do this every Saturday, 6 a.m. California time or 9 a.m. Also, before we get started, I'm coming to India. There's a I'm doing a meetup in 4 cities: Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad, Bangalore. So if you are interested in studying in United States, want to understand, please register so that I know which venue to book. So I'll put the link so that way you can come. But Rajivji, any new updates? I heard the fees didn't go up for the H1B registration.
Well, not this year, but next year it will.
Yeah.
So the fees are changing in bits and pieces. From what I remember, I can tell you that the premium processing fees are going up on 26th February.
Hmm.
Rest of them are going up April 1st. H1B fees have increased. The EB5, which is investment based green card fees, have increased. I think something like $11,000. I don't even remember exactly what the fees are. I mean, this is one area, the fees area, where the government is charging more money than we are in most cases. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting how this is playing
But
out.
this USCIS is funded by fees only, right? Like they're not funded by
Yeah.
government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are funded by fees and they are still so backlogged. It's just they keep boasting that they did a good job this year.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw in their news
Excuse me,
bulletin.
I'm losing my
Hmm.
voice. Okay, so on the lottery front, we all know that this year it's going to be tied to your passport or your travel document if you don't have a passport. But here is the fun question, which is what I keep getting asked. So I'm glad that we are able to address it here. Let me start the timer. We want to do it in 1 minute, right?
Yeah.
So give me 1 second. If I can find where my stop clock is. Actually, um, I don't have my iPad in front of me,
It's all
so
good.
I'll just
Yeah.
eyeball it.
Yeah.
So the question that we are being asked the most this time around for the lottery is: can multiple employers still apply for me even though it does not help my chances of winning the lottery? And the answer is yes. You can have multiple unrelated companies like before apply for you. Then the follow up is: will they find out about each other? And the answer is, the way I read the form I-129, there's a question, the most recently filed H-1B petition. And I
Hmm.
think the first one may not be able to find out who applies for you for the H-1B petition, but the others will, as far as I can.
Hmm.
I don't even know
Hmm.
how they are going to inform. That's still a suspense. Chances are they will find out. But multiple people can apply for you, multiple entries can be made for you, and you can choose whichever petition is approved. So after the lottery, the petition is filed. That's where we stand.
Oh, so that is interesting. So let's say four companies applied on my behalf, and so because the lottery chances are based on my passport, so if I got picked, I get to choose which I want to go
No,
with.
not only that. See, lottery, you've been selected, that's yours.
Yeah.
Now the question is, which company wants to apply for your petition?
Hmm.
Spend money on filing the H-1B. See,
Hmm.
for $10, they were able to enter you in the lottery.
Right.
But now the
Okay.
question is, which company? Can all five of them apply? Absolutely. Do you get to choose whichever one you want to go with? Absolutely.
That is so
Will they find out
fascinating.
about each other? Probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, that is interesting. Okay, yeah, you think this is gonna solve the like problem of like multiple filing issue? I mean, it should because now they're tying it to passport.
I am actually expecting drastically improved H1B lottery results this year. Number of
Mm.
filings is going to be low, I think, from what I can see of the tech market. And number of petition filing is going to be even lower. That's what I anticipate. Now, would we have a second lottery? I think we probably will, simply
Mm.
because the people who win the lottery are not necessarily going to have projects to file. Okay.
Mm.
And the government has given an indication of which way they are headed. They
Mm.
are going to create a lot of problems for any companies that file an H1B without a project. So
Mm.
please don't file H1Bs without a project. I want to make a couple of things clear, some of them
Yeah.
personal, some of them that are more generic in nature. So, first of all, people who contact me on LinkedIn, I have a lot of people I'm connected to. I usually don't connect to people whose identity I can't verify. So if you connect with me, I have like 5 or 6 pending right now, where I can't connect with them because my this year's quota of messages is over. This
Mm.
month's quotas, because I usually send them a message, please verify your identity. I'll be happy to connect with you. Second thing, I get multiple requests a day. Can I talk to you for a minute? So remember one thing, that 1 minute adds up. There might be only 1 minute for you. I have a lot many more requests. And my first loyalty is to the people whose money I've taken, who are already our clients. So I do the best I can. Don't just assume that 1 minute of my time is easy to come by in a very heavily scheduled day. I do the best I can. I answer the questions that I can. I tell you to join our community conferences where possible. So please do connect with me. I do the best I can. I will not be able to answer all your questions. And it is not possible for me to connect with you for 1 minute. All my calls are scheduled beforehand. If there's a great emergency, I might be able to make some time, but it's difficult. Okay.
Yeah.
Move that
Yeah.
aside. Now, I am getting messages about schools and H1B employers saying that if you have this companies who are fraudulent in your OPT, STEM OPT times, you're going to have a problem all the way in your immigration status. Somebody
Mm.
got turned back at the airport last week.
Oh yeah. Yes. Did I? I mean,
No,
that
I have
person is
multiple people.
okay.
You had one, I had
Yeah.
multiple people, and
Yeah.
they couldn't understand why. And I explained to them what the problem was. And some
Mm.
of these we can fix, but most of these we cannot fix. Okay. So that is something to keep in mind. And please remember, if there is a company that says you pay part of the fees, don't go with them. That's illegal. Because that's another question I was asked. So these are some of the questions that are coming from all our students that I can think of. Okay.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
just keep these things in mind. I will do my very best I can for you. Community calls are the easiest way to reach me. We do one every Thursday. Come here, hang out with UD. This is probably even easier because you've got an intermediary. He's picking up your questions and relaying them to me. So please
Yeah.
go ahead. That's all I wanted
Yeah.
to say.
Nice. All right. Cool. Let's get party started with Zubaya Khan. I'm current. Good morning, sirs. Like that. I am currently on H4 dependent and plan to change of status to F1 before I age out in March 2025 next year. Would it be better to apply for from within the US or going to India to get visa stamp? Suggestions
I'm I'm
regarding
I'm
yeah.
glad you joined, Miss Khan. I think your father also wrote to me. And I told him that come to one of the community conferences or just set up a consultation. I'm glad you're here. So there are pros and cons to both things. The
Mm.
advantage of doing it, a change of status in USA is that your chances of getting a change of status are very high. But if you go to India, what are your chances, or Pakistan, wherever you're from, if you go to your home country, what your chances of getting a student visa stamp are is very difficult for me to predict. The downside of getting a change of status within USA is that every time you have to travel, you will have to get a stamp. Not every time, but the first time you travel. Let
Yeah.
me correct myself. So that means you're going to have to run the gauntlet at some time. But you could balance your education and your travel in a way that when you travel, you already have completed your degree. And then even if the F1 is denied, you have the H1B chance. So
Mm.
you have to make a decision. If you think you are going to be traveling more frequently than the whole degree will permit, or you need to travel for the next 4 years sometime, or whatever time you have in your degree, um, I would say then try for a visa. Now, most of people in your situation are getting visas, but I use the word most, and that's a toxic word for anybody whose life depends upon that visa. So just make your decision knowing that there's a chance you may not be able to get a visa, but doing a change of status could be a lot easier.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Um, in-state tuition
This-
fees.
Oh,
Uh,
actually, this may not be her father because, oh, she's H4 dependent. I thought she was married. Okay, now, no, no, this is the same question.
okay. Yeah.
In-state
Yeah.
tuition, I don't know. That depends upon the school policies, the university, and even the state law governs some of that. So you have to talk
Hmm.
to the school. There are different rules in different states.
Yeah. All right. H1B start date March 1st for a pharmacist position with a company B. I took my exam and failed, and I can't get pharmacist license until I clear the exam. I'm on first year of OPT with company A. What are my options?
Well, if March for start date. So the thing is, if you want to apply for an H1B and you don't have your license yet, you can always try to get a position that requires a degree but not a license. Okay. So, for example, if there is such a position as an assistant pharmacist, where you are not dealing with the public directly, but you're doing all the backroom work. I know that we've dealt with this situation before and there is a way out. Talk to your lawyers. It may be worth a shot if you get an H1B to apply for a position that requires a degree but not a license.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. Nice. Okay. Um, for converting H4 to F. Oh, I think we already
Isn't
answered this.
yeah, this is no hold. This is Mr. Khan, I think.
Yes, that was Zubaya Khan. This is
I,
Zishan.
I think it's his daughter, but I could be wrong. Khan Saab, we just recorded this call,
Yeah.
and UD will post it online, and so will we. We
Yeah.
make a copy of UD's all hard work, and we steal it. So you can take a look at that. We've already discussed this issue. There are pros and cons. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I have active intern license. Will I be able to start working
Yeah.
on?
I do not know, ma'am. I have to look at the law on this. So
Mm,
typically, I have to review the cases, review the law, review any guidelines from the government. I know there are none, but let's say there are. So I can't tell you off the top of my head. But it's a if it's a position that requires a degree but not a license, I think you
mm,
qualify, right? And you can get
mm,
an H1B for that position.
mm. Okay. I'm on H1B working for a consultancy company. My employer sent me an email last week that they have rebranded and changed their name. Does that impact my immigration status?
Yeah. So be very careful, Shasa. If it's just a name change, there is no problem. Next time when you apply for an H1B, just do it under the new name, but make sure it's just a name change. There is no merger, no acquisition, no reorganization.
Hmm.
Okay. And if you have to travel, carry the proof of the name change along with your approval notice. That's good enough. Name
Nice.
change is irrelevant, insignificant.
Okay. So I can start a company today and change the name after 2 years,
You
and
can call Microsoft tomorrow, and that's fine.
other than I'll get the lawsuit, but
Or
that's a
OpenAI.
different.
How about OpenAI? That works. Sam Altman is looking for what, $5 trillion? He's
Yep.
going to, this was today's AI news. He's
Yeah.
looking for, I think, $5 trillion, and he wants to beat the hell out of, which is that GPU manufacturer? What is the name? The big GPU manufacturer whose stock has gone up
Nvidia.
like Nvidia. Those,
Yeah.
he wants to beat them at their own game. So we'll see what
Hmm.
happens.
Interesting. All right. I've got my I-797 for my H1B and also have MS offers, master's offers, okay, from some of the top universities. Can I pick up my master's in September with F1 visa and get my H1B stamp next year
Yeah,
after my master's?
this is actually a long story. I may even write a quick article on this on my Economic Times page because this is a very weird issue. So in 23, the Administrative Appeals Office of the USCIS came up with a very weird ruling that said, we don't consider you to be out of the lottery until you have received a change of status or received a visa. If you're outside USA, received an H-1B visa and entered the US. I don't think they took it all the way whether you actually have to join the employer. So this issue is wide open. Have you gotten rid of the lottery problem? Up until last year, I was telling people it's okay. And we have successfully done many cases like this where people never joined. And as long as the H-1B was revoked after October 1st or withdrawn after October 1st. So in your case, if you join the employer and then go to F1, you are pretty safe. But if you don't join the employer, then the issue remains up in the air. I don't know what they are going to do with your case. So even if you join for one pay period, just 2 weeks, and then you go to school and apply for change of status, that's fine.
And they are father-daughter.
That's what I thought. Because Khan Sahab he wrote to me, and I just couldn't, you can't just type all this out. So I told him just one of the community conference. He's worried about you, Subhaya. Your dad is worried about you.
Yeah. All right. I am on H1. Oh, we answered this already.
Bar se repeat.
I think they've moved from YouTube to this platform, so that's why. Planning to go to India for the first time, visa stamping after H-1B, will be working 40 to 35 days remotely. Is amendment required?
No, if you're working from outside the United States, Sahab, and as long as you're getting paid your regular salary in the US, I don't see any need for any amendments. You're fine.
Nice. Zahan is back. He always asks at least one question in our session.
I don't Panjwani.
Yeah, I think you've also talked about Panjwani before. But
no,
anyway.
I have. You're making stuff up now.
No, I know you have. I'll send you recording. All right. I have dual master's degree, MPH, MBA. What is that? I don't know what is MPH.
Public health. Public health.
Nice. Okay. Currently, I'm on H-1B visa, non-exempt. My company is non-profit, is willing to support me with the letters from project lead officers in federal or state government project. Which category should I apply for? Considering support letters, dual degrees, and what else should I consider? Or should I ask my company to sponsor me via EB2 category?
So we need to know which country you were born in if you want us to answer the question about whether EB2 is an option. So Zahan, if you are India born, EB2 is not a healthy option. It takes 10 years to get a green card and you won't have any authorization to work. You have to focus on H-1B. Could you be quota exempt by any chance? And the answer is, so far, the government, the regulations still say that if you want to be quota exempt through a for-profit employer because you work to support the work of a federal research or state government research organization, then you must be working at that federal or government research organization. So that word at seems to imply you have to actually work from their premises. And I actually lost one case where I argued that this at is merely it's merely a tweak of English language. It does not mean that you actually have to be working at that. So the word at can be construed, even if you are working from home, you're really working at because you're supporting. And government said, no, nonsense. So, and I had told our client that will be a big get. However, under the proposed regulations, that word at is going to get thrown out. So then you could be working even remotely and still qualify under this quota exemption. Your employer is for profit, but your client is exempt. You could be exempt. So, yeah, Zahan, EB2 is not a real option for you unless you are married to somebody who's not born in India.
Dear sirs, I have admissions to study in MS in Energy and Sustainability at Northwestern University to resume in September. Do I stand an opportunity to getting green card EB2 national interest waiver?
Let me clarify national interest waiver. Let's do another minute on this. This is important.
Okay.
So give
Also,
me
can you
about
fix the
5
camera
more.
so that our head are together same?
Am I looking good now?
You are looking beautiful.
Thank you. So talking about national interest waiver, please bear this in mind. National interest waiver is a good option for many people, including those who are from India, because it gives you many choices. So go into, just Google Economic Times, Rajiv as Khanna, my name. You'll see my most recent article explains this. But the essence of a national interest waiver is there is something you are going to do for the United States which will have national level impact or at least non-local impact. Sometimes, even if you are working for a company, the impact is still so wide that you can qualify for national interest waiver. But what if you open a clinic in Georgia? Government will say, well, you are just serving people of Georgia in that small clinic. What is the national impact? On the other hand, if you work for the University of Georgia and do research in myocardial infarction, heart attacks, all of a sudden your research is available to the whole country. You are helping the country. So non-local impact of a future project or present project is the bottom line.
Hmm. That
Yeah, and I'm
was
getting
one
good at
minute.
this 1 minute stuff.
That was nice. Okay. Devarsh is asking follow-up question. What is the legit proof of a company name change? And when I transfer H1B in future, do I need anything from the old employer other than the H1B approval notice and a proof of
Yeah,
name
just
change?
the H1B approval notice and the copy of proof of name change would be nice. The proof of name change, normally, when companies change names, they file a document locally with the state government where their headquarters or principal place of
Yeah.
business is. Okay. And they might also do a name change filing with the Corporation Commission or Corporation Secretary Office in the state in which they are incorporated. So if I'm doing business in Texas and I'm incorporated in Delaware, I'll have to file both places as far as I know.
Yeah.
So either one of them could work for you. A copy
Yeah.
of the name change certificate.
I think when I was trying to incorporate, we talked about it. So
Mhm.
you can, I found, I don't know how legit is this, but it looks like legit. California State Secretary of State website. That is where I went to
Yeah,
find like the name,
yeah.
if it is taken or not. So that's how, like, they will give you detail of like who owns it, what, like all of this stuff. Like if I do I mean, you are not in California, so obviously you won't be there.
You could do
Microsoft.
Indian business
And
machines.
yeah, like I mean, it will
IBM.
it will say like who owns what and all of
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
yeah.
And the same for the ICANN registrations. You can,
Yeah,
these
yeah, yeah.
days, before you name your business, couple of pointers I'll give you all the entrepreneurs. You probably already know, you know more than I do in many ways.
Yeah.
First, when you start a business, you first look for a name
Mm,
on the web. Can I register this website? So first you register the website, then you look for a name at the state level, because chances are if it is registrable on the web, it will be registrable in the state. Okay, number one. Number two, one website I always recommend, that is Small Business Administration,
yeah.
sba.gov. They have
Yeah.
excellent advice,
Yeah.
and they actually have access to a circle of retired CEOs who
Mm,
provide advice to small and entrepreneurial businesses through local colleges.
mm,
Universities and colleges will usually have some kind of a agreement with that group of people who can advise you, who can give you advice on how to start your business, how to grow your business, free of charge.
mm. Yeah. 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 Yeah, it's an interesting process to register. And I found out that I can also, even though I reside in California, I can have a company in Delaware. And
Of
for some
course.
reason, everyone starts a company in Delaware. I
Yes,
have
because
no
this is
income
not
tax.
India. India has only one Companies Act all through the country. I think it's
Okay.
Indian Companies Act of 1950.
Hmm.
But USA, every state has its own corporate law. So the
Right.
Delaware law is different from New Jersey, New York, Texas, Florida. Okay.
Yeah.
Florida people choose because of tax benefits. Nevada people choose because of anonymity. You can't find out who owns the corporation, something like that. I don't know all the details. But Delaware people choose for two reasons. One, the laws are very well defined. And
Hmm.
two, the laws are in favor of incumbency if you are a publicly traded corporation.
Hmm.
If there is any kind of hostile takeover or something, um, you could be okay. Just give me 1 second. I'm getting a
Call.
no. I'm just getting from my next conference. I'm just getting a quick message that he'll be a little late. I said that's fine.
Okay. Nice.
So
Um. Yeah. Yeah. But it's so you file tax for Delaware then?
I don't ask me about tax. So I almost
Oh,
failed my tax exam, and I don't know. I don't even know how I passed. I had no idea what I wrote. That was one area of law which I was really bad at. Because when
yeah.
people start talking numbers, I kind of go to sleep. I have no
Yeah.
idea what. Whatever,
Yeah.
man. Let's get to
Yeah.
real stuff, law stuff.
Loss.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Rajiv ji is looking awesome as always. Obviously.
What? How nice. Normal guy. Thank you, man. Normal guy. You would not want to be me. I cannot learn. I keep doing the same exercise. I can't stop myself, and I hurt myself. Then I'm laid up for 7 days. Then I go back and I do the same thing again.
Yeah.
I've done
Yeah.
this 3 times so far.
Yeah.
Uh,
How's is DC cold right now?
oh, I have the windows open. I
Hmm.
have food cooking inside the kitchen. I have the windows open because I don't want my house to smell of garam masala.
Nice. Okay. What are you cooking? You still
Rajma.
have to.
Today
Okay.
is Rajma day,
Nice. Okay.
Punjabi style.
Very nice.
Crying Buddha.
Uh,
What's wrong with you, Buddha? You should be laughing, Buddha.
can I turn my job tech position in nonprofit as a contract position so I could get my H1B filled in cap H1B lottery?
No, no. You don't have to convert it. First of all, you can't be a 1099 independent contractor on H1B. On TN, yeah, maybe, but not on H1B. Second, you don't have to be in a contract position to apply for a lottery. You could be on a W2 and still apply for a lottery. I don't see any problem with that.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Um. Yeah. I'm working with US based employer remotely for more than 2 years and we have a small team. Can they sponsor me L1A and
Yeah,
EB1C
Ali
green
Saab, I'm
card?
right now, I'm doing a case like that. So we have a small company in India, and they've been working with another small company in USA. So I had them incorporated, and I'm just filing their L1. Yes, it is at least theoretically possible, but there'll have to be some equity exchange. So even if you're a sole proprietor, you will have to enter into some kind of agreement to part with either majority stock of your company or take their majority stock in the US. Well, sole proprietors don't have stock, but let's say share, equity share. So it's theoretically possible, but there are some wrinkles that have to be ironed out. Definitely look
Hmm.
into it.
Hmm. Okay. I'm on H1B approved with full time client directly, but previously I was selected with one of the consultancies as well who applied with multiple without my knowledge. Is that a problem in stamping?
I don't know the answer to that question, Ahmad Saab. I I don't think the consulate has access to the lottery information, to the best of my knowledge. But I would not be able to tell you definitively because I don't know that that level of detail about their technology. I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure they're not talking to each other. I think DHS is using SAP for most of their administrative stuff, and I don't know what they're using for lottery. I think it's an homegrown system. And State Department has their own systems. They don't even expose APIs with each other, as far as I know. So I think most of the information is sent in batches rather than um,
Yeah.
other than,
Asynchronously.
well, I think even the petitions, at one point USCIS had to scan them and send them over to the consulate. So that tells you that they really don't have, not so far
Hmm.
back, just a couple of months back. So I
Hmm.
do not know the answer to this question. I don't think so, but
Yeah. Yeah. I have dismissed driving under influence
It's not a
based on upon evidence results. Will that be
yeah.
problem?
See, if you don't have a conviction, chances are you'll be okay. Okay, because can the consulate still insist that you take one of their psychiatrist examinations? I guess they could, um, but I think it's very unlikely because remember,
Hmm.
a conviction is necessary for any kind of adverse action, such as not allowed to enter USA called inadmissibility. But can they still, just based upon this basic information that you were arrested, ask you to take a panel? They probably could.
Hmm.
Consulate
Hmm.
has a lot of investigative authority, but I think we could argue that there's no conviction. So what is the point of all this?
Hmm.
Any
Hmm.
damn fool can make any allegation against anyone. Well, I can say that UD is a dragon in disguise, but can I prove it? That's the question.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Are you? UD, are you? No.
Not yet.
I'm watching one of those movies with dragons and stuff.
Oh, yes, yes. No, not yet. Not yet. Uh, H1B filed by AWS for data analysts, now switched to Amazon for business analysts. There's no location change or salary hike, or no
Abs-
salary hike.
Absolutely. But um, Amazon and AWS, are they under the same umbrella? And was your H1B done for the same employer? So, because if AWS, I don't think AWS is a separate business or separate incorporation. So, actually, you should talk to the Amazon lawyers. They will be able to better advise you. It depends upon the nature of the relationship between the two employers. If they are the same employer, just making a move to different department with the same job description, same location, I don't think an amendment is needed. But it's really the call of the lawyers who represent Amazon.
Hmm. 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 Zahan is saying, I'm already on H1B visa cap.
Yeah,
Cap.
yeah, okay. I have a
My
dual
closing.
master's degree, MPH, MBA.
Hmm.
Oh, you are thinking of EB1, EB2, NIW. Well, EB1 focuses strictly on your qualifications. Are you one of the top 10% people? By the way, government has been getting progressively very tough on EB1A cases. It's become a toss of a coin. Never know, even with the best cases. NIW would certainly appear to be the natural choice for you.
Hmm.
So far, from what I can see,
Yeah.
because you're helping the US government. And that's a good call for a NIW.
Right. Okay. Clarification from Crying Buddha. Basically, I'm interested to work in non-profit, be it contract or full time, but with capped H1B. Is it any way
Yeah,
possible at all?
absolutely. If you go through, so let's say I am a cap exempt company,
Hmm.
but you come to me and say, can you please apply for my lottery? Sure. What is stopping me from doing that? I can apply for your lottery and then you can come and work for me. Even though I'm cap exempt, you can work for me under the cap. Why not? I
Hmm.
can't think of any law that stops me from doing that.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. I'm coming to US in fall 2024 and I'll be graduating 2026. What are the expected chances for me to grab H1B?
Rohit, these are getting better. I mean, just because they've tied it to one passport, and I think the number of applications will decrease. I don't know what the future of the tech industry is. Right now, I think we are going through a correction phase. People had overhired, um, but I don't know what the future of the tech industry is. I cannot see tech getting out of our lives. So, really, it's only a question of how many people are needed. Bottom line, your chances are better than they were last year before
Hmm.
Sam Altman.
And what about O1 category? Can normal academic person get it? I think he's referring to your EB1A
Yeah,
formula.
so Owen is the same. It's the non-immigrant brother of that's my
Your
Rajma company.
Rajma is done.
Yeah. All right, I heard you. Can we let it go now? Yeah.
It's gonna keep beeping until
Yeah,
you
no,
stop it.
shut up. Okay. So, um, O1 is exactly the same, pretty much the mirror image, except one or two smaller changes, small changes. Pretty much the same thing as EB1A. Are you the top 10% in the country in your profession?
Hmm.
Nationally or internationally, that's the way they put it. Tough get, can be complicated. Normal academic, probably no. A very accomplished academic, get me a publication in Nature, yes. I think I
Hmm.
can get you in impact factor 65. Okay. But
Hmm.
if you say I've published in, I don't know, New Jersey Tribune, maybe not.
Hmm.
So it depends which school you are coming from, what your academics are, what your other credentials are. So, but these are tough visas, not easy.
Hmm. Sorry to drag this again, but so non-profit universities can apply for lottery H-1B as well. I did
Why
not
not?
know this.
Yeah, why I can't think of any reason why they cannot. So that's the essence of knowing the law. That we as lawyers can always look up things, confirm that our understanding is correct, and go forward. So my advice is have the lawyers earn their living, let them do some review of the laws. I
Yeah.
don't see any reason why they cannot.
Mm. Okay. We'll take this last one unless there's any burning one. But my H-1B start date is in March. Can I join the company instead? Go to in. Can I not join the company instead? Go to India, spend some time, and later find a new employer and get one H-1B transferred.
So I just talked in the beginning, the very beginning of this discussion about the weirdness of USCIS rulings. It's uncertain how it would work out for somebody like you, unless you actually um, at least work 1 or 2 pay periods for the sponsoring employer. Till last year, till that ruling came out, I was saying that's fine because we've done so many of these cases
Hmm.
where the change of status to H1B was obtained, but the employee never joined. Now, I just would not want to take a chance. It's still not clear. If you don't get a change of status and you don't get admitted into the US with an H1B status, I think it's quite clear that the government is going to take the position that you are not outside the cap yet. So my advice would be join the employer, then go.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay.
And there is his follow up. But I was detained in sheriff's office for
Yeah,
urine test for DIU.
that's
That was
okay.
dismissed, and I was fingerprinted. Should I
Yes.
answer India's
Yes.
160? Have you been ever arrested?
Absolutely. And you have been arrested. That is the truth. You have to tell the truth.
Hmm. Okay, that is
Okay.
crazy. All right, awesome. Thank you, Rajiv ji. We'll talk
Take
next
care,
week.
everyone. See
Don't
you
lift
next week.
a kettlebell on Friday, so
Yeah,
that.
I'm not going to.
All right. Thank you. See you. Thanks,
Bye.
everyone. Bye. All right. Ryan, I just saw your comment. I posted on my Instagram and my LinkedIn to talk about like if you want to move to Canada, like what are the options. So yeah, go check it out. But thanks everybody. We'll see you soon. Also, if you're in India, I would love to hang out with you again. India, Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad, Bangalore. Nice. All right. Bye everyone. Thanks, Zahan.